The seventh, now I'm feeling we do it again, the seventh, the third, the nothing. Which is to be the plan, we invited to be the mayor. For saying, for station, winter high, individual, and justice for all.
Have there been minutes of the previous meetings?
The monthly board meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, May 27, 2025, with the pledge to the flag. The following council members were in attendance: Tony Morris, Catherine Courier, and Gail Atwood. Greg Warren, Greg Gold Plant Manager, Craig Jackson, Orestes Town Marshal, were also present along with a few citizens. An announcement was made by Tony Morris regarding a live video streaming that required by law July 1st, 2025. Citizens who would like to speak at the meeting will be asked to stand and state their name and where they are from. The minutes of the previous meeting were read. Tony Morris made a motion to accept the minutes. Gail Atwood seconded. All approved. There was no fire report received from the Alexandria Fire Department. However, Craig Jackson said there was one EMS run for the month. Craig Jackson was present and presented the police report, which consisted of 4 arrests, several traffic stops, and 2 investigations. Total calls for the year are 2,354. He stated that 5 officers are scheduled to work scheduled for county-wide training on May 29th and the 30th. He reported that Rex Harold, Skylar Owen, and Chase Courtney are putting in extra hours as usual. All other officers are meeting their hours. Water Commissioner Neil McKee sent a water report. No issues with the water or wastewater. The PFAS sampling that was required by IDEM and EPA is finished and we are waiting results. BL Anderson is about halfway done with the control upgrades on the water plant and lift station. Gail Atwood reported on the parks and streets. She stated that there is a hole on Lotus that she has requested to be filled with coal patch and still hasn't been completed. This will be addressed. The park looks good. The walk path needs repairs. The Orestes Community Pride Committee is getting estimates on a shelter house. There has been no response on the railroad crossing upgrade. Kathy will continue to try to follow up. On July 1st, 2025, it is required to video the town council meeting. Visitors who would like to speak will be asked to stand up and state their name and residence, or sit out. Gail Atwood made a motion to hire Harrison Pike as an additional town maintenance person. He is a strong young man and is able to handle most tasks with ease. He will get paid the same rate as the current maintenance man. Kathy Creer seconded. All approved. Since he is the grandson of Tony Morris, we were advised to file a conflict of interest form. That form is complete and in the file. Resolution 425 and 525 were presented to the council. The resolutions are by the order of the Department of Local Government Finance to transfer money to another account. Tony Morris made a motion to sign. Kathy Courier seconded. All approved. Jim Rose, our town IT person, asked for a raise in his yearly retainer fee from $1 to $1.50. Tony made a motion and Gail seconded upon approval. Jim Rose is quite helpful when we are in need of computer assistance. Terry Patton stated that something needs to be done about the cats in the neighborhood. Craig stated that he will get with animal control, and he stated the rest of the community, and she stated the rest of the community pride committee will be cleaning the streets shortly before the street fair in June. Greg Warren stated he will send people from Red Bull to help with that cleanup. Greg Warren of Red Bull stated he is happy that he had the police escort to move the very expensive equipment from Orestes to Elwood. It made the process a lot less stressful. Greg also said that he will get the hole on Lotus Street patched soon. He has full patch already. There is no date on the paving on Oak Street of Red Bull. Greg appreciates the extra patrol that was given since the security man has retired. Water and wastewater claims 515. Town claims 5-1 through 525 were presented. Kathy Courier made a motion to accept the claims and Tony Morris seconded. All approved. Tony Morris made a motion to adjourn at 7:52. Kathy Courier seconded. All approved. The next regular town meeting will be held June 24th, 7 p.m. Expecting to live.
Make a motion to accept the minutes to spread.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? there is no representative from the Elgin Fire Department here. However, as will be reported on at the police department report, there were 5 medical calls and 1 fire incident. Appreciate that, we don't always know, and sometimes we go months before we need to report from the fire department. Picture one.
Total calls for the year was 2,805. Total calls from 527, 624 is 456. With the 1 call fire report and 5 medical calls to the EMS. Following officers have worked more than the required hours by the state law, which our system will be one for individuals, but not I myself. And hopefully set up to 100 hours. Kevin McGowan, who is another sergeant, has put in approximately 24 more hours, where Chase Gordon put in approximately 36. The record of walk field dirty. We have not only our own people, but Madison County Sheriff Department SWAT team joined in. They actually learned a lot trying to develop a better plan and what the path is. Update on the incident, which someone is aware of. Not welcome. Quality security work. The aren't, he's going to be out of service for at least 4 months, possibly 6 months. They found no wrong with what happened. And criminal charges were filed against the individuals involved. There had approximately 9 arrests in the community. 7 of them male subject. Most had to do with all of that arson. A couple with battery. We had 2 female subjects. One was arrested, felon misdemeanor charge, drugs possession. The other one was a misdemeanor charge, drug possession. Everything else, a couple of them batteries. Yeah, taken care of. We had 7 subjects we arrested. Traffic offenses, most of them charged with infractions. On the ordinances, both ordinance officers, Stevens and Owens, which are out working this evening, have been given green light to start enforcing the ordinances. We were just discussing a couple of the today, yesterday. And they will be contacting you today, and I'll be active before. Assist outside the department with other departments. Elwood, Alexander, Brandon, Sunville, Madison County Sheriff, State Police Parole Office had the lieutenant. Alexander, the Fire Department, Elwood Probation, Madison County Probation, and Community Service Corrections. Other than that, all officers have worked their hours, everything's going along. So far, no problem.
Water and wastewater?
Everything is running well. I think you're on one minute, down deciding that the relax. Still working on that stations. Sent I know they sent that to you, but I forgot. We found all 3 lift stations. This one's the worst one did. They took the relays out. They contacted and realized the road is bad as to the gases. It's pretty common after some of the years. We've never found anything that controls it. So really, original was similar. That shade, so he tested everything, it worked fine, they didn't want to let him know. They were for us, so they went back, and the other two, they got first on contacts too. Did test it before, he just wanted us to know, get support for placing those contacts, sealing that back up with folks kind of, the church, but that's out there. Cycle sulfide, so it's going to be actually much higher.
Surprisingly, nice condition.
Me too, especially in that atmosphere, but he did check the alarms, checked everything, it worked, he wanted to know if he wanted to do that. It's $1,900. I sent the captain just now, so she,
I would be straight out of Richmond, so it should be really good thing. I think it would want to be
well,
before.
I think so too. He said you could wait till one fails, but that doesn't make any sense to me, but, give one at a time,
It's like
so.
grabbing your car up quick, so you know how where you want to bring it quick.
Yeah. Because he said it couldn't, depending on which one went out, it got to the alarm, whether or not cut it out. Definitely the alarm call.
And,
Or not, the alarm.
what about the water company, upgrade on that, so that, you know.
Yeah, and he's gonna finish that and come back with, he's gonna forward contact with, he's gonna want to do all of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And, we're doing medication tomorrow, we got a lot of water. And I didn't see like a lot of the building water in the district. And there these spots that, something reported, like, out of the back, they're making it on. If more, and they run every day. And you put down, it tells them what it's saying, they're preaching on and God, and they thank them to, it's good at the party, and do that, see that. That's feeling that, what's on it. They're, as they're being defeated, they need to realize that you don't win, that's great. And that's how it is. And God, and
Yeah, I didn't clock and things and, clock.
I don't think they understand people.
Oh, I thought it was like,
Like they wrote about. And, over here, we have the green, the, Greenfield property, but it's more in the Grand Grove flood. And, I don't know, I couldn't see on our map where it is. Probably need to make a motion to go ahead and do that, sentiment down, the lift stations before it's cut down on.
because it said 4 to 5 weeks to even get the part.
Yeah, so you wanna go ahead, I'll make the motion, okay, we shall add. No, we can't tell them to proceed.
Okay. All of the, solar things. Definitely, that's what I do, that food use, when they're down, they bought it.
Later, was
Yeah, well, he had it, Jerry,
yeah,
and that's who you use. Richard probably could do it, he does sewer work, but I don't know if he has a jet, man, rent that, and he does it, I
I don't know, I mean, I was surprised when it wasn't much change. So, yeah. My concern is, but looking forward is, where does it live? And so where does it leave, when it leaves that room, where does it live? Because none of there was one just up the street from him, and it was fine. And Liz was backed up, so.
I'll see Richard tomorrow, so I can ask him if he has a sewer yet. We'll go from there.
Alright.
Tim. There's Tim, and he's
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
If it wasn't on our agenda, it's on the Facebook, quite often. So, weather's trying to up with it, it don't matter, parks and streets,
Well, the parks and streets seem to be doing good. I walked the park, I checked this park, but, the grass is staying mowed, looking nice, and, I think Richard had mowed down the, whatever you call the things, all the welcome things. They're getting a little bit better.
that he usually,
Yeah.
uses all of them, to do the trash.
Yeah. And I think that when the kids are down there in staff member, are finding basketball here, and it's just but there seem to be people picked up, so,
Don't be too hot.
yeah. It is definitely hot. So other than that, I mean, the roads that they paved look good, I mean, there might have been one of those, like the one
They were,
down for Broadway and Ontario, Matthew, we would have.
yeah, John Lawson had it bricked down.
Yeah,
There were three things he wanted corrected, and they got it corrected. And that's part of our effort.
and then when it came to that one hole there on, around the S curve,
Yes.
and, they said, Greg said that they would get it prepared, and they did the next day, and so that's the thing.
Yeah. And the bad part about that road is, as far as the plan for building, well, no, the 27.
Yeah, so that was very appreciated, Greg, over, yeah.
Like, you get the distribution and the other stuff, something.
Oh,
It's all good. All right, full business, that 80 Amish miller update. It's been another $260.
About $65.
So we're down to, only owns 9,500.
Under 10.
That was mine. We're getting up to.
Yeah, we get about $260 a month. But it's doing good for a long time.
Yeah, he may have been a dry spell or whatever, but if there's something coming on, it's probably haven't taken like before, it's barely on, and feed on.
It's just dragging. And then this payment, so good.
Well, we did something that at least it's,
Well, $770.
we didn't know how much they do. What we need to do, street project updates, the daily for this year is completed. And I think, I don't know that, I don't remember Broadway ever went from 11 to 671. Yeah, it looks nice, and it's staying on for long. That's where our main road last for a long time. But remember the first thing that day, and it just stayed for quite a long time, and it's been nice now. Plans for next year are the Leo that in the connecting road for First Street, Second Street. First Street, we need to go to the end of our area, which now is just gravel, but once we pave. And then,
That's the one leading back to the farm.
yeah. And so that should make us full there, and that'll take care of it. We're also, we had, in the original drawing, they had to do the North Prospect, but there's not very much traffic on that road, and I would want to do more on First Street that goes on the other side of it. It looks like it's much more in need of paving than that.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to complete Oak Street where they didn't go to the farm.
Friends and volunteers.
Yeah, all the way down to where our sign is. I know it's on one side of the road, but
And First Street from Michigan. No, we're not doing from Michigan. We're doing it from the other side of the Red Bull.
yes.
Overpass.
House there, also doing that.
Yeah, all the way down. Across
The
the
cops, like, that is like, that, we've got that area there
Yeah.
now. So, that's where we're
I'll
at.
be in that.
And then the last year is, Ontario and Sycamore, Lotus, that we do for. We got,
Did we just,
we did Ontario here.
oh, you're on the other side, okay.
We're not gonna do Walnut. We're trying not to do Walnut.
One, I don't think you should be, there is a house in the corner, but essentially that's a red building. Gravel road, that's a big kind of thing, but,
Yeah, it's a belly.
yeah, we could fix it. Where is it? Sidewalk repair info, we are awaiting some bills to come in, so we see how much money, you would plan for around $10,000 a year for sidewalk repair. And other things come into that, doing something at the buildings and things like that. Once we know where we're at with that, we have an area on North Superior where the sidewalk meets the drain, and for some reason, we put the sidewalk kind of over the drain, and now it's starting to break away. So we want to get that fixed correctly. We're gonna have to raise the drain up to meet the sidewalk, rather than to. It's, where there used to be a house, and now it's been out, like,
Steve Ferguson.
Oh, like Steve Furby.
like where that other house is at.
Pull that one who's graded.
And I had some pictures I went around and taken of areas and are getting in some pictures. I mean, I don't want to do away with sidewalk. I'm not excited about repairing every sidewalk again. But at some time they will have to. Well, we have, you're more than welcome to, it kind of says on the back of where it's at. We did some work last year when people had millings and then took them over, put them on the property. There was a house on West Oak where they had it covered up by half foot sidewalk. So we removed that, those millings, and put it back out where by the river where they had some. We've done some things like that the road sidewalk, the milling put in line. They're $3,000,000. We had amongst other things, when we were putting in the water treatment plant, we have been and now the same road that was there off the big, and everything there has developed a lot of who do that for people to give us a estimate on how much it would cost to repair that road. And we have a bid in that one with $4,850.
You did not know that off the old roof that you wrote?
We're only with one roof in there that can go over the.
Yeah, yeah.
So that.
So you had one getting put off?
I normally would make it a lot of the bid. I made my things down, it's difficult, it's a great thing. Yes, yeah, it. We will add a good bit of the other style. But we have a military city to make it, I don't think that they are. And I don't think that they really are, and I don't want to wait. They may win it, that's what I have to tell them, we can do the 60-30 going down, pretty good. No, okay. They've got that, I would say that we don't have any more bids in the next week or so, if we want people, we can go at the things to do it.
Is that what we need to do, is ask them? Okay.
Ending in really good, and I would want that soon as we can, we have to do things that, more that with it. We've been, the town's been very fortunate through the storm. We have really have, January was flooded bad. And it looks like a lot of farmers to the party. So, we've been very fortunate. New business, I would like Tim to speak to us about the problem with Phillips and Scott's edition in Alexandria. No one can that's that. So the,
It's, decided on.
it's sort of all, it's,
That's for Galen Scott.
okay.
No.
It's all fine.
Okay, I know it's for John, when he's been getting married, it's such a new module, that it's over on
The east side of
It begins at 1100 and runs south from there. So it's probably,
like, that's out
1100 probably to 1000 is the east of that. That, most people probably don't know where it's south and back to this.
that's all I understand.
Well, anyway, it had issues with sewage, yeah. Sewage. So county was brought in, county health department looked at it, et cetera. And apparently what they're investigating is to resolve it is the formulation of what's called a regional utility, which they that's called Monroe Township Regional Utility. Taking our attention because there was a notice of a public meeting which came to you, Kathy?
It came to every single citizen, yeah.
Okay, so, which the state law said, they have to give notice to all of the potential, parties to be served. So that's why this notice went out for what they call an informational meeting, which was held last Wednesday, June 18, 2025. So as soon as I got this, I talked to Neil about it, sort of heard about it. And I went ahead and contacted the county attorney, try to see if we could, just really to see, are you handling this? Jeff, right?
Yeah.
So Jeff, can I handle this one, my question? He said, no, I'm not. So I sent him an email then and said that we noticed that in the notice of public meeting, while Alexandria, City of Alexandria is specifically listed to be exempt from the regional utility district, that, Jeff, the rest of us has utilities too. And so I'm inquiring as to, what's the status of your rest utilities. I was pretty sure I knew what the answer would be because I really don't think legally they could come in and take over our existing utility. There's state law that protects that. Well, they couldn't do it with our agreement allowed. And he, in fact, then emailed me back and said, just saying, oh, that was an oversight on the part of the county engineer, and we will be sure to include the exclusion for the town of Orestes utilities here and now. And we'll also keep in touch with you about this like that. So that's good. That resolves that particular issue about our existing utility. But Neil and I talked about this, and there's another matter that really needs to be resolved, and that is because under state law, since we have a municipal utility, a water utility, and utility, construction utility, we have what's called statutory extraterritorial powers as well. We can serve areas outside of the town of Orestes, so long as they're within 4 miles of municipal water, and could be up to 10 miles for sewage, I guess, right? I thought that was interesting.
And in fact, there are some, we service water to some
Is
residents.
that right? How many do we have? Do we
I
know?
know that it's, Joy, Joy.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't have water.
She doesn't know water, and what about North?
North, the last one that gets water is that house that has all the trees.
There's 2 houses there, that get one, they go.
Yeah, but not Hannah's.
Annie's on the other side, you know, those, but the 2 on
Yeah, that's
the west side.
Scott Walker and Steve Lane.
I was thinking when we done our rating, get those. But I think that's people who live outside
Yeah.
of the own property. and
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Then we have the one on the prospect. It's, you know,
They'll have a horse.
they have the reasons are in town.
Who
They're,
is it? The reason Sarah the reason them?
Yeah.
They're out of town.
and they do not get water.
They get water.
And the people on the other side of the road, they have some no problem.
Yeah, they get water.
So we have some.
Yeah, a few people outside of town, don't, okay.
I don't know that any of those, that any of them have sewage.
No. Well, I'm lying, if it's Sarah the reason have to do it. Well, but,
Did you get that?
but the horse farm doesn't, and then the one that lives on that hill.
And Gordon, do those that happen?
No, he doesn't have sewage.
They don't?
Everybody has to read
You know, I guess my thoughts are at some point, right now, we're kind of pretty close, where it's not an area to expand without us annexing the property we're at. And, you know, obviously, one of the things that would benefit people if we annex was to be able to deliver water and sewage for them and things like that, provided, you know, our police department's gonna go south of Woody here and take. It just makes things so, but, if the town were ever to expand, and, you know, we're having a house built in town for the first time in our life. And well, we want it's time. So, we're upgrading the streets, we're looking at improving the sidewalk, we're following the ordinance and telling people we're going to cut it to their ethics. Or someone feeling that so whatever. So that my concern is, in this, these people might want them to say, hey, you know what, we'll provide that for.
But there's nothing to worry about right now.
No, except timeliness, that people, I've looked at their website in terms of what they say, timing, or, this. It's a long process. I mean, from start to finish, it's almost your April. And, doing that. Indiana Department of Environmental Management, which is where this position is filed, you perform this. But I did note that, but I did note on their website, they are going to file a petition with the Indiana Department of Environment and next month, in July 28th. So they, think that the target would, they would file a petition, right? That, yeah. They're not, in and of itself, something was a real problem for us. There was a long period of time after that, 6 months, for the public position. I did invest in more dealing with this. But at some point, I assume at some point, we will get official notice that this petition, I think that's around that time, we need to take a look at it. Do we file an objection to them taking our extra child for the out at that point? I guess I've done a little bit of legal research and how this whole thing can go, and it appears to me that in the IDEM process, this petition process, or long process, we certainly have livestock check. Yeah, I found a court case, and I need to do some more investigation. Terrible abuse case, 2022, I could do it over in Delaware. And in that case, similar things happened. And the existing utility, like us, and they petitioned the IURC, sort of, I'd say, get going on this thing, yeah. And put the ball in the middle. And the IURC, then, well, the case was, did the IURC, this was interesting, the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, apparently, got jurisdiction over their petition. And then this ruling in this court was that the IURC had jurisdiction over the request that the existing utility made for them to have for that. So I need to look a little bit more at that and see if there might be some advantage to doing what the way they did that was they passed the word saying we are the incumbent utility, we have the right to extend these services for the territorial period and area, and we are going to exclude of any other utility. And then they sent that down to the utility road program.
And to lead to, getting your connection, lead to connection to feeding.
But the,
So anyway, I'm gonna be continuing to look at that and advise the town, to this, sort of,
but there, on one hand, I believe that there's a need there.
Right.
Thing up on there. On the other hand, there seems to be some finger pointing on who should be taken care of.
oh, there were lots of, I think, comments at the meeting last week, from what I understand, and there's a lot of unhappy people.
But in the end, I think the treatment side that it needs to have.
Yeah,
How it comes about is more of what we consider about.
and I think what the town really needs to think about it. Do we want to push? Do we want us? I bet, do we want to get into probably some, class and put that legal? It's easy. If that's where we end up being, I think the next thing I should do is send a, or dealer to you, Just like I did the first time, but I'm all right, you know, we had, jurisdiction there. Yeah, why did, yeah, all that. I mean, up to this point, man, everything these days, this is all about Phillips and whatever we're gonna get.
Well, I get that, but I think people think their own.
Well, I think that's right. So, and you know, yeah. Likely, they've been taught. That's right. Well, we can put on. Now we can think about what they're doing. Right. The lottery way to block it. Yes. It's not the one myself. Yeah, sure. And that's a good point. You know, we don't have to the IURC, the regulators there, sort of like they try to do on the kids. They try to interview, but they can't cards or what's coming out. And so it might be, let's go, look, we don't want that start the whole 4 mile or 10 mile, whatever. So we would like maybe at least, you know, a radius of a mile and a half or something. Well, I'm just throwing out, I don't know.
You can almost say, you know, we'd have to put that 400.
Yeah.
Up to the highway, I think one at least to the highway,
Yeah.
so maybe 300.
Now, I will say this, when I look at this Kevin, when push came to shove in the key utilities, what the IRC basically looked at was taking down the service. That this Kevin didn't. So then the IRC goes into, you know, the lot assets you have, the funding, and et cetera.
Where's from, so.
Yeah, we would have to, we would have to submit all that to the regulator.
I know it was, you know, better than that, but it's not when they get in the water system, and the sewer system, that you have capability, you know, and, but you can only have, you can only make it so small. So you have the capability to fill, if there's more housing, you have to,
So the town doesn't do anything on that issue, and then they can just do whatever they want, that doesn't mean do that.
And what they put the petition on, and if their petition is going to be, so all of the unincorporated areas, the rural township, and it was specifically, you know, they all split up. Yeah.
It's just cost additional and so to the stuff.
But, you're right, yeah, if nothing else is done, by, all the, I didn't, it's not gonna be filed on January, so, yeah, looks like the end is. Absolutely, yeah.
I was only going to draw, I said, they really not doing it, see, this out. It's hard to pay the change,
Yeah, this is probably the time.
this is the time.
In that petition process,
You know, you don't want to have to guard or stuff, that say that they're needing it.
Then this is the thing that was some about, like, instead of us collecting and selling our own stuff, it's somebody else.
Yep. I'm not worried about that. I don't see, I think, if enough section law right now for just the municipal utilities that do that.
What?
Or they can,
We can't
oh my God,
break it
anymore,
anymore.
and they can, and it's gonna take over their utility and improve, no, I don't see that. Yeah, it really doesn't come me down enough for this.
Yeah, I just didn't know, think, they start doing that,
No, I think they know, that because they pretty, well, you know, the time.
I don't know.
I think that the attorney, what the people,
You know,
they would want to do that,
yeah, so I'm gonna continue to, you know, make the inquiry, use for your research, something come back, I understand that, yeah, all right. And,
appreciate that. Now we're ready for open discussion for item John with him. You know,
This is not really anything of Kim things, but, when my, parents died, I found two, would that be of any interest? Would you want those? I mean,
I would like to see it.
you might have going on board and my family. I mean, you're talking about pictures and things like that, it might have some kind of information, you know, where the old play fights might been or whatever, and probably still kind of, I will bring it over to you, because it's.
And that's like, you know, I might make it down, because as far as brain getting, you don't really know where those and sometimes.
Yeah.
And you can look sometimes, you have to know that there's something that would be able to, run across the street to church, so it's some kind of getting there.
Then I go on my back alley, we went down that alley into the field house. I mean, you can always have one thing out, the TV.
Yeah.
So they're down there, that's it.
That would be nice to take care of that.
I'll find it.
Maybe at that time. When you know, either bring, you know, put that in.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. You need more tomorrow.
There's, one, yeah, one farm report. July. These are one on
Yeah.
that. I didn't get, and you go, I found it, do it. I got my Friday at six stuff that, anything, and it's going to be a touch up there for it. They're gonna have that Friday afternoon.
I just haven't known why.
I can go down and pick it up. Yeah, so. It's on the corner. What are you doing? I, what, no.
Yeah, okay. Right south of there.
Yeah.
So you can get it? And,
Oh, what's the one to, Reverend Holland?
getting the something, and,
Yeah.
oh, I know that. Everybody remember that on Street Fair this weekend, at 28, from 10 to 8. Don't leave the weather holds out, you don't have to, go to the music box.
That we were,
Mm-hmm.
Rich said that they would have the slogan open, that we could get it, well, they're gonna do, email me, if we have a lot of people for it, they can be, so we're trying to do that, and what I think to do, and that's the first, they do, and
So, it's probably, something that, work out, it's good. Well, we have to listen to my, look cooperate.
it looks like it's gonna be less than,
Yeah.
feel like it is.
Yeah. With me.
Although, the older it gets, the more I feel like the same side, you know, when people, you know, the rest of the great.
Yeah.
Other one, person is going, I think it's something as well. And, make a motion, and you approve, and from 6/1, the 6/24, for a grand total of $122,391.64. And that includes the, $23,790.25 for the state payment for, and water and wastewater between 600 to 650 for $12,399.30.
And that includes,
Yeah, 32, what, it's for they want.
like, that wasn't my lot. That was my office, that's just,
I was up in here and.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's.
And then more.
Yeah, it's a quarter of one.
Yeah.
I'll put it.
Okay, Make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Look at time, 7:32.
Office?
All,
I couldn't,
David.